Fandemic, hosted by my dad, a podcast about catching up and nerding out.
With anyone whose awesomeness levels rival mine.
So level up your awesomeness and welcome to the Fandemic.
Welcome back to the Fandemic. Yes, it has been a while. I had a bunch of life changes that took place, and I wanted to get back to the roots of why I started the Fandemic in the first place. This is a podcast about looking at some part of pop culture, and then we're going to do a deep dive and see where we end up. I'm Bradley Butin, and this is Kendra Beltran. Am I saying that right? Beltran?
Yeah, well, if you can roll the R, it's Beltran, but I said it Beltran until I had like a Spanish substitute who said it right.
Awesome. And my rolled R's are like a hit or miss. Sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. So so she is the super cool she's the host of a super cool podcast that I just learned about called Crushgasm.
Yeah.
Kendra,
Super cool.
welcome to the Fandemic. Tell me about Crushgasm.
Well, Crushgasm started during the pandemic. My husband had a podcast, and I was like, I've been a music blogger for so long. I was like, well, let me intertwine my love of interviewing people with slumber party talk. And I was like, what do you talk about at slumber parties? Crushes. And who hasn't had a crush, right?
It's true.
We have a crush on everything. I mean, we've explored Disney, anime, musicians, art, Renaissance artists, like spans the crush realm.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. I wanted to listen to a couple more because we just talked a few days ago, and this week has just been so crazy. I've been so busy this week, and so I know you just had an episode come out today.
Yeah, with Josh Stifter. He's an actor, director. He has a movie out called Greywood's Plot, and his crush was an after-school crush on someone I think is probably the most popular of crushes of the 90s, and that's the Pink Power Ranger, Kimberly.
Yeah, yep.
Her, Kelly Kapowski, and Topanga Lawrence are probably the top 3, and we've done only 2 of those. No one's come on with Kelly yet, so...
And you are forgetting April O'Neil,
I would say she's
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
like the cartoon or the
cartoon.
movie.
Okay. Both, really. I mean,
Okay.
yep. That was my animated crush from the 90s. Like I said, it'd be late 80s, early 90s. So awesome. So tell me a little bit about what you're a big fan of.
I'm a big fan of 90s pop culture. I love everything from the cartoons to the movies, the music. I mean, I was coming of age right when all the boy bands were like popping off. So Backstreet Boys, always better than NSYNC. You can fight me on that if you want. I have taken people down in the playground with my words, not my physical, because
my wife would agree with you.
Thank you. She has good taste.
Yes, she definitely does.
I just love TV. I grew up like total latchkey kid, so TV raised me from Sesame Street to today. So definitely love the small screen. I have like a TV tattoo and everything.
Oh, do you? That's awesome. I actually, I'm a marketing and event. Ooh, oh, one more. Let me see that one more time. That is awesome, and it's even like one of those. Like I want to hook a Nintendo up.
He's got like a little top hat and a mustache and a monocle because I'm like really smug about TV. So I'm like a snob of TV.
So in your brain canon, does Mr. Monopoly have a monocle?
Yes. Oh my God. My friend got me a monocle back in, I want to say 2008. And I still have it in my pencil case to this day because fancy like that, like Mr. Monopoly Man.
So
I think he has one.
He does not. Mr. Monopoly, right? I'm on that camp as well, but apparently that was definitely the Mandela effect, fully in effect for me. That was one of those things where time took a weird turn, and we are now in this future, and there's one future where yes, Mr. Monopoly has.
Or like maybe the Pringles guy had one at one, but somebody, I think it was Mr. Peanut, and we were just like everybody fancy,
right? Right, and between Pringles and the giant peanut, how do we get fancy out of a monocle?
because Mr. Peanut had a cane and like a top.
That's
I think
true.
top
That's true.
hats too are a fancy attire.
Yeah, I would like to see him stick fighting or pull a sword out of that cane and do like some cool like fight. Who would he fight? Who would Mr. Peanut fight?
Ooh, he would fight the Vlasic pickle stork.
And he absolutely should win because I can't. I don't like pickles.
No, me either.
Pickles are disgusting. I'm sorry, honey. I know you love them.
No, every
We love
couple has
them,
a lover and a hater.
right?
You have
I,
to.
and
Mhm.
pickles. I can do cucumbers. I can
Mhm.
eat cucumbers. I cannot eat
Same.
pickles. But I
Yeah.
can do raisins and I can do grapes.
I can't anymore. Age got up to me, and now I can't eat grapes or raisins. They hurt my stomach, but they're so good.
I
I'm
know.
sad.
I'm with you. I growing old. All those things you like and like dental issues and all those things. Like all it's like one day your metabolism gets turned off and you're like, what?
I know
Ah.
my first tattoo was the Kool-Aid guy, and I drank it so much. And then, I mean, I'm like total
Mhm,
millennial, I don't have health insurance, and my
mhm.
teeth were starting to hurt. So I was like, we got to walk away, Kool-Aid man. I just drank water from then on. Goodbye,
So
Kool-Aid.
is the Kool-Aid man the pitcher or the liquid?
I mean, that's a philosophical question.
Hmm.
And it's something I think Buddha would discuss if he was still here. I think he is the pitcher, and the liquid just is kind of like the outfit, you know?
So I agree with you there. I feel like the different colored liquids would give him different powers. Kind of like if you're playing video games, you got the red for the life and blue for mana or
Mhm.
whatever, and maybe he could unlock some really cool like attacks or something like that. Uh,
They've been like a Super Smash Brothers of the food people. Food. So you'd have the Mr. Planner Peanut, Elastic Guy. They need to do that video game.
Oh, absolutely, man! Like this just print money. I mean, you could do like DLCs for like cereal,
Ooh,
and you
Captain
could get like
Crunch.
Tony the Tiger against Captain Crunch. I mean, who doesn't want that battle royale?
I mean, they had that movie Food Fight, was it called? And they
Right.
put like so many of the food people, like the food
Hmm.
mascots in it. It bombed horribly because it was
Oh,
kind of like the Emoji Movie, where it was like,
mm,
yeah, no. Even though I thought the Emoji Movie wasn't that bad.
I yeah, I watched that with my kids.
Cute.
I took my kids to the theater to see it, and I'm like, same with like the Lego movies. I like the Lego movies.
Oh yeah, I went and saw Lego Movie by myself opening weekend,
Mhm.
which was like in hindsight really weird to be a 20 something by yourself in like a freaking Power Ranger sweater, just like yay.
Right, right. Yeah, so
I had a good time.
I do marketing and events for a movie theater in Iowa, and we're doing a huge thing for Lyle Crocodile,
Mm.
and that's why I've been so busy. And now I don't know much about Lyle Crocodile, so all I really had
Mhm.
to go on was the movie poster he was singing in the bathtub. So I had to make a bathtub, and when there's gonna be prizes and all the kids that come in are gonna get free downloads of my kids book that I wrote called Leveling Up My Awesome. So I'm like, I got a published children's book author come in. And I'm like, yeah, it's me, yeah, it's me.
I mean, two birds, one stone.
Right, right. So, here I'm gonna be because I don't I never want my kid has no desire to see it, and she's 10. So, and I don't never want to be that adult in a kids movie by himself.
It's you get over it. Once the lights go down, you're like, okay, we're good
Right.
now.
So, I'm half depending to we do early screenings to make sure like all the movies are done right and they go right. So that's tonight. So I'm like, do I go to the midnight showing of
No.
Lyle Crocodile, or do I go to Amsterdam? So I don't know. We
It's
will
in
see.
theaters? I thought it was a Disney Plus release.
Lyle.
Yeah,
Yep, it's coming in theaters. Yeah, it's
that's a
Sony.
choice.
It's a Sony thing. So it Shawn Mendes is in it, and he does a lot of singing, I guess. So I mean,
Hottie, okay, but you can't see him, so no point.
right? I mean, well, you can't. He's just a crocodile. Now,
Mm.
That leads me to a very, very important question. Do you know the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
No, because I'm scared of both. Like
Right. I
those
mean,
and gorillas, I'm very terrified of. So I've never seen the movie Congo. I won't see the movie Congo. I'm terrified of gorillas, and I don't like things with crocodiles or alligators. I believe crocodiles maybe have the skinnier, like nosy thing, snout.
so
Maybe.
a crocodile will see you later. Or so, I'm sorry, see you later, alligator, and then
Mhm.
and then a crocodile will be after a while.
Oh, okay.
That is the that's the
The
difference.
time
At
thing.
least to me, at least to me. But yeah, I'm not a fan of anything that can kill me or wants to kill me.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
prefer to stay that that's one of the best things about living in Iowa. I'm
No
I'm
animal.
sure there are things around that can kill me or wants to kill me. I just don't see them.
Slipknot.
I mean, so Corey
They're
Taylor is awesome. I met him a few times. I met a couple of people from Slipknot. I was in the military in Washington State, and actually they came to what really close to where I was stationed, and did a concert. And I had a big old sign like "I'm from Iowa." And all I got was like a hype, like yeah, an acknowledgement. But I'm like, yeah, it was
like,
fun. It was fun. It was fun.
like, good for you.
Right? I know. Like, yeah, there's a lot of
Congrats.
people from Iowa. Uh, although in when I was in the military, and there was two other people from Iowa, and one was much older, and the other guy was a total idiot.
Oh.
He was a dumb ass. Okay, I mean, like, so to the point, like, all my friends were like, "So, Brad, um, you cannot be from Iowa anymore because this guy, he's just an idiot. So you from
Mhm.
now on, you're from Oklahoma." And then they gave me details, so I told people I'm from Oklahoma. So yeah,
Like
so,
Garth Brooks is from there. Hanson, looks like it's got a musical. Like, those
right?
are things of Oklahoma.
Yes, yes, yes. So getting back into, I'm easily off topic if you haven't been able to tell. So, what were some of your inspirations for Crushgasm?
I loved having before I moved to Virginia, I lived in
Mhm.
California, and me and my friend Ashley would have like wine nights
Ooh.
where it just consisted of drinking bottles of wine and watching old like music videos and talking about how cute they were, and
Mhm,
we're like in our late 20s at the time. And I just like, "Mm, that's fun." And also, I just love creative people. That's mostly
mhm,
the people I interview. They're podcasters,
mhm.
musicians, comedians, stuff like that. And I was like, well, let's do this. It was a new medium. Plus, it was the pandemic.
Yeah,
There was no social interaction. So
right.
it's kind of been like my only way to like talk to people and get to know people. And I've made some really cool friends along the way. Shout
Yeah.
out Riders Bagel Basket.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm with you 'cause I have another podcast I do with a buddy of mine called Prevenge of the Nerds, and we just totally nerd out for about an hour and a half every week. So now, what are some of your favorite episodes of your podcast?
Ooh, that's a good question. I love when people come on and like you think, oh, it's just about crushes. It's going to be silly things. But I had a black gay preacher come on, and his crush was 90s crush, and he kind of talked about like the crush, but we also got into how he came out like I think in his like college or 30s, and how
Mhm.
finding his tribe and parents loving and accepting their kids. So like you get those conversations
Yeah.
too. A drag queen out of the DC area, Demanda Martini, came through to talk about their love of Beast from Beauty and the Beast, not when he's human.
Mm.
Not when he's human, when he is the beast. And that was a really fun episode because it was one of my first ones. And it was one of the first times I had to interview because I started, you're like, I'm going to start with people I know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had only really talked to Demanda via email. So this was the
Mhm.
first time vocally meeting someone, and we just vibed really well. And that
Sweet.
was fun. So things like that. I love when we really just get into things. I love when people come through with like 90s things when I don't have to
Mhm.
do research. Those episodes are really fun because I'm like, oh, okay, Topanga Lawrence, know every episode. I know
Right.
everything about this.
Right. Yeah, I know. Like Nine Inch Nails. Like Nine Inch Nails is pretty much my soundtrack. Nine Inch Nails and Nirvana are my soundtrack to the '90s. And I have a almost 20-year-old,
Oh
and then I
wow.
have she's actually in musical theater college in Seattle. Kendall, love you. And then I have a 13-year-old. She just turned 13 back in
Mm.
September. We actually share the same birthday. We're birthday buddies.
Oh.
And then I have a 10-year-old mom. My 13-year-old, she got a Nirvana sweater this last weekend. And I get home from work, and my wife was like, Anna got something. And it was that tone of like, oh no, like, what did you get? And then so she pulls out a Nirvana sweater. I'm like, oh, I like, all the, the bells and everything was going off. And so I'm like, okay, now name a song from Nirvana.
Oh, you were that guy. You're like, well, if you have a sweater, name 3 songs. What?
Yep. I was for her. I definitely was for her.
I
And
mean,
she
that's
was
so good.
like,
Kind of like that.
that one, this one, and the other one. And I'm like, well played, kid. Well played. And so I'm like, there's about an hour and a half drive time to take her back to her mom. And so I'm like, guess what we're listening to? All the way, which we ended up listening like 20 minutes. And then actually I turned on your podcast actually to check it out. So yep, she made it through like Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, and Lithium.
Okay, the hits.
Yep.
Well, now she
So
knows 3 that she can name. So yeah.
exactly. She was like, yeah, I remember her because her mom is a huge fan of that stuff too. So I was actually pretty sorry. But my kids got a Nirvana shirt, and it was definitely a proud papa moment.
I know. I would definitely push my stuff on my kids if I was gonna have them. I'd be like,
Mhm.
"Hmm? You can't like things from now. You like my things."
Exactly. That's the best part of having kids. I mean, so my youngest daughter's name is Leia.
Oh,
So
okay.
I am a huge Star Wars fan. As a matter of fact, my newest tattoo is a
Oh,
hand is what a Princess Leia that she drew a couple
oh,
of years ago.
very
So
talented.
right. I know. That's what I thought. It's like, man, this looked really good for Risha. I think she was like 6 at the time. And so I'm like,
Wow.
all right, well, that's got to go on. And now I got to get something for my other kids, but you know, that's just how it goes. So
It's cool. That's really good for 6. Like, I don't think
I
I could
know
draw that now. It'd be
I
like,
couldn't. I couldn't. I'm working on my next kids book, and I'm actually gonna get that have that one, pay to have that one illustrated. My last one I illustrated all in Canva, and I'm like, oh, because it was just a kind of like a prose, and I could do that. So I'm like, well, that I could do that, but I can't draw. I'm not talented that way. I could write. I got real creatively that way, but when it comes time for other stuff, no, thank you.
Yeah, I got the writing. My little brother got the artistic eye where
Mhm.
he can just look at things and draw them, and I'm like, dang.
Right? Like I could tell you a story. I can make up a story on the spot about that little 30-second doodle that you just did, and I could
Mhm.
blow your socks off. But could I draw something? No.
No, he's like, like, I saw he did me a like big like canvas type of thing. It's a
Mhm.
robot, and I saw it's in my office. I love it.
Awesome. So, big fan of the '90s. What's your favorite band?
My favorite group is
Mm,
Backstreet Boys.
awesome. Okay.
They play instruments sometimes, not live, but they
But
can.
I mean,
They can,
to me, voices are an instrument. I mean,
and they have the best ones.
yeah. So, um, I was I mean I'm a little bit older, so like I was past boy band. I mean, I was metal. I mean, like I was going to early Nickelback, and I was going to Metallica and Motley Crue and all that.
All
Uh,
right, a little harder.
right. However, my wife, she that is her gig, and she can sing and everything. She tried out for The Voice about 10 years ago, I guess, probably. And so yeah, that's her jam. So usually I'm pretty well versed in that stuff because uh, she likes to
Married
drive, and
it.
I have a hard time saying no to my wife.
I mean, after Backstreet Boys, I got into like the pop punk emo scene.
Blink
So
182,
Newfound Glory, Good Charlotte,
Newfound
definitely like the
Glory, yeah,
Hot Topic, Mall Punk,
right,
Black
right.
Sunday, The Used. The Used is probably as hard as I went.
Uh-huh. Now, the Stabbing Westward, that was the Used is just parts of Stabbing Westward in another band, if I remember right.
I have no
Think
idea.
I don't know. Maybe I know like part of Stabbing Westward broke off and became another band, and I can't
Hmm.
think of it off the top of my head. So, what is one song? What is your song that defined your life, or the '90s? We'll go the '90s.
Oh, so not my favorite Backstreet Boys song, just a 90s
We'll do
song.
both.
Well,
That'll be
the 90s, it is No Rain by Blind Melon. That is my favorite all-time song. I think it's perfect. The
Shannon Hoon.
video is just like, I just love that
Mhm,
outcast spirit. My
mhm.
favorite Backstreet Boys song would probably be from Millennium, their 1999 album, Don't Want to Lose You Now.
Mm.
That one. If I had to pick a single, though, it's All I Have to Give. But Deep Cut, that one.
So, man, I remember when No Rain came out. So like No Rain was the first song I ever learned how to play on guitar. And like I don't play guitar. I can pick up and pretend for a little bit, and I can do a couple of notes, but yeah, nope, that's about it. But like I could play the intro to No Rain, and I
There
and
you
and it's like almost all open, so you're really only using like one hand. And I could impress all my friends. I'd be talking to my friends on the phone, like, "Hey, I can play No Rain."
go.
Just the beginning, like 5 notes over and over again,
Well, that's all you need. That's all you need to
right?
impress.
Oh, yep. Shannon Hoon, man, he has gone way too long. Did you know that he is one of the backup singers in several Guns N' Roses songs?
No, I didn't know that. I don't know much
Yeah.
about, like, I just love the song. The
Mhm.
guy was hot. Sadly, not here, but yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know anything. I was like too young to like dive in. All I
Mhm.
knew was probably what they showed on pop-up video.
Oh my gosh, I remember pop-up videos.
That's where I got like I still will like tell little fact. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that fact from pop-up video.
Wow. Do you remember when they did that for, like, specific DVDs? Like, you could get,
um,
they'd have, like, pop-up, like, facts for, like, the movie.
oh no, 'cause I was never into like watching the extras.
Oh, really?
No. I mean, I got a DVD player pretty late in the game too.
Mm.
It was like my best friend's mom got it free, like a free one when she got her tires changed one year, and she gave it to my family for Christmas because they like had money and didn't need it. So I and my family, we were like, "Wow." I still have it though. It's from
That's
like
awesome.
2005.
Man, I wish I still had all my old stuff, like, I used to have a PlayStation 2, a PlayStation 1, and all that stuff, and it's gone. I don't know.
I know
So
my brother my favorite was Gate. I love my Sega Genesis. It was my
mhm.
best Christmas present ever, but my friend Christopher broke it and never his mom never replaced it. But my brother was yeah, I to this day I'm like they owe me, oh god. But
Right?
a GameCube, but my husband got one last year for his birthday, so that's been cool.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite Genesis game?
I love Sonic 2. That's
Sonic
kinda like
2.
my thing.
Okay.
I would play that all the time. I liked one called Wrist Star, where it's just this little star that he wore kinda like red shoes, and he would it's so lame. It's
Uh-huh.
not cool. If you Google him, he's like the lamest little character, but I loved casino games.
Okay.
That's how I learned to play roulette and blackjack
Nice,
as an
nice, very cool.
8-year-old.
Very cool. Yeah, I was told I can't play cards in a casino over here in Iowa because I used to be able to count cards, and I've
Oh.
been doing magic for like 20 years. So
Oh,
before I was married, there was a very cute waitress. So my drunk idea of trying to get this waitress's phone number was to do card tricks in a
did it work?
casino. It did not work. It did not
Oh.
work. And so like I hear them like, hey, well, see a card trick, and By the time I was at that, next thing I know, I had security right there. I was playing slot machines. I wasn't playing cards anyway because I'm not a huge gambler. And she had walked off, and they're like, you know what? You probably shouldn't play cards anymore. So I don't know if I made a list or if they were just kind of like half joking or what. But I've never tried.
You're
Except,
on the list
right, I don't
this
care.
day.
Right, I don't care enough. It's like to really like but whatever. That's fine. So music, we hit music. What was your favorite 90s TV show?
Ooh, that's like a hard one because I love so many. But if I had to pick like one that was like my defining
Mhm.
show, and I know she's insane, Roseanne Barr is insane. Put that out there. Not a fan of her, but the show Roseanne was my jam as a kid because it was the first show. People talk about representation, and yeah, there's good to have different races and
Mhm.
sexualities, but to see like a poor family being a poor kid was like everything to me. And she was like Roseanne Connor, not Barr, was just like my mom. She was like very hardworking,
Mhm.
very sassy. So I really like that. And I love Darlene Connor. She's my OG middle child representation. Moody, gothic, loved her.
Nice, nice. Mine would be pretty close to that. Mine would actually Step by Step. All because I remember, like, there's a scene in one episode of that show that I will just burned into my brain where the dumb cousin Sasha, what
Code.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, oh, whoa, dude, like talking like Michelangelo, and uh and he was like rescuing the cousin, one of the daughters from like a party, and all of a sudden like whipped out all this like martial arts. And I've been doing martial arts since I was a really little kid, and so like, dude, and he was just like, whoa, oh, that looks cool, I could do that, and did like better martial arts.
Did it.
And everybody was like, what? And then afterwards they're like, oh, how'd you do it? He's like, I don't know. Whoa, dude, total.
I mean, Step by Step for such a great theme song, though. One of the
It
tops of the
was
era. I mean, I miss
right,
legit theme songs.
right,
Mm.
and who doesn't love Suzanne Summers?
I know. I mean,
I
I
mean, I
was
know she's
definitely a
kind
Nick at Night fan, so I watched Three's Company, and then to
of,
see her there, it was so
yeah,
cool. I think she needs a comeback for sure.
yeah. I don't. Is
Don't know
she
where
even
she is.
around? I don't even know either. I'm like, man, I
I
haven't
think
even
she's
heard that name.
alive.
Is she doing like the exercise like tummy things? I think I
Oh,
don't
or
know.
Thigh Masters.
Thigh Master, that's the
Well, we
one.
had one. My mom had
Right.
those and Jane Fonda workout videos, but like, I don't remember my mom being like a sporty, like workout person, but she
Hmm.
had these things, and I'm looking back like, who were you trying to be, girl?
Right. I see. We would always get like the rip-offs of the things. Like you come back and like it looks similar, but this was $5 cheaper, or this was 35 cents cheaper.
Spelled like thigh, like THY, Mister.
Right. He's like, why the thigh?
Yeah, I remember having that and playing with it, but never like being deep into it. But yeah, she needs to come back.
I agree.
Somebody write this for her.
Yeah. So I brought up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a few times. Question for you: why, out of the four Ninja Turtles,
Mhm.
is Raphael the only one with a New York accent? All the others are
Hmm.
California boys, but Raphael has a New York accent.
Hmm. I mean, is this in the movies? My little brother made me watch it a million times. I should know. I don't know.
Right? I mean, I know it's probably just written that way and everything, but I've actually actually tried to do research on this, and I have found nothing. I found nothing that gives any clue onto like any like cool philosophical thing. I mean, I found plenty of like the reason why Raphael uses psi is because he's the most hot tempered, and the psi is a defensive weapon, and then Michelangelo is the scatterbrain, and nunchucks, you have to be precise. And I'm like, well, that's all cool.
But
Like,
why?
right. Why does he talk like he's from California? They've lived in the
No,
sewers
wait.
of New York their
You would think.
entire life.
See, my husband's OG poster.
Oh, that is awesome. That is so cool. Yeah,
He's a big turtle fan.
as he should be. That is the correct answer to almost everything.
I interviewed the oh, what's his name? The guy, one of the animators. He was like
Mm,
the first black like head animator of like Saturday morning cartoons.
cool.
And I asked him, I was like, why do you think like every generation has loved Ninja Turtles from my husband to my little brother to
Mhm.
now? And he's like, I think it has to do with the colors, you know? You see these four guys, four personalities. I mean, everything ripped it off. I mean, you have Power Rangers, everything
Yeah.
does colors. So I was like, oh, interesting.
That makes sense. But there again, that's the difference between like the artist and the creator. You know, I mean, like
Mhm.
artists can think like that. So there's only one cartoon that I think was better than Ninja Turtles in the 90s,
Hmm.
and that
Cartoon?
is Batman the animated series.
I've it was good. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but as a little girl, that
Mm,
was, like, too dark for me.
okay.
So I would mute it and, like, have it on and play my Barbies, and then
Uh-huh.
at 5, because it came on at 4:30 for me, and at
Uh-huh.
5, I'd be like, "Click it on for Power Rangers," but yeah, pa it was just, like, so it was just, like, dark, like, literally too I was like, "Oh, it's spooky for me," but it looked beautiful. I mean, it was a good, well done cartoon.
Yeah, it's one of those definitely one of those things that you can go back and watch now. But like Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Gargoyles are my pretty much like those are my favorite cartoons out of the 90s.
Gargoyle's another one, too dark
Hmm.
for me. I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" I was like a DuckTales. Darkwing Duck was, like, as dark as it got.
Darkwing Duck was awesome.
Yeah, he was
Darkwing
so
Duck,
funny.
Darkwing Duck should come back. Now I know DuckTales. Have you watched the new version?
I didn't watch it, but I heard I had high praise from one of my good friends.
Hmm. I love it. And so, do you like Doctor Who?
No,
Okay.
no, I tried to watch it because I had a friend into it, and I was like, "What is it? What's going on?"
So David Tennant, who was
Oh,
the
okay.
10th Doctor,
Mhm.
he's the voice of Scrooge McDuck,
Mm, mhm.
and does a fantastic job. And he's reprised his Doctor Who role, and he was the villain in a season of Jessica Jones, which hopefully Jessica Jones will be back in the Marvel MCU. We
Mm.
can hope because they really did a good job with her. But yeah, that DuckTales is awesome.
I heard with the next, like, you know, Lonely Island at Chippendale Rescue Ranger, I heard Darkwing Duck could be the next one to get that kind of movie makeover. Fingers crossed. He
That
was at
would
the
be
end, so
That
good
was
cameo.
amazing. I didn't watch all of Chippendales. It was one of those I put it on and my kid liked it, and but I was like too busy doing other things, and they were like they were like, oh my, I was like, oh, they're into a piece of my childhood. Let them sit there. I will do all the work. I'll do all this. I'll do all your jobs. You sit there and watch Chippendales, and then maybe she was just playing me, and if she did, good job, very very good job. You fooled her
Well,
dad.
Darkwing Duck pops up at the end credit scene, so rumor has
See,
it.
now I need to watch that now.
It's
So
r
thank you.
I did love it. I also
Thank
have a
you.
Chippendale Rescue Ranger tattoo on my leg, so
Oh, that's awesome.
so
I
I was
have
like, this movie I was like, "God, crap, I hope it's not bad," because then people are gonna see my leg and they'll be like,
mhm.
So I was like, "Whew."
I have my tattoos are I have Star Wars and I have pretty much I have Batman, the Joker, stuff like that. So I eventually when I have the money to get everything
Yeah.
done, because tattoos take money,
They take a lot of money.
right?
Mhm.
And it's one of those things like I know you're worth all the money, but can we just like pretend?
Yeah,
I can't
bargain
you
a little.
right, right. Can we barter some? I mean,
How about I clean the shop, like, for a couple weekends?
right. Hey, I mean, I would totally do that.
I would, yeah, my last one was she's probably, like, 2017, 2018, it was
Mm,
I finally got my Lisa Simpson ones, that was cool.
very cool. So do you play saxophone like Lisa Simpson then?
Oh my god, everyone's heard this story because I tell all the time, but I wanted to. So in 3rd grade, they came to our school and they're like, "You
Mm.
guys are ready for band. Let's sign up." And I was like, "Mom," I raced home. I was like, "I want the saxophone. I want it." She's like, we didn't have a lot of money, so she's like, "Well, let's go to the meeting and see." And then they started handing out the price range of these things, and she was like, "Girl ain't getting that saxophone." I got the flute. And I hate it because it was like $10 a month to rent or
Yeah.
whatever. I
Yeah.
lasted about 2 weeks in the program, and I always was like, "If you woulda got me the saxophone, I would have been great." And you know what? My nephew, who's her pride and joy, she just got him a violin, and that was over $200 to rent, and I was like, "Must be nice."
Wow.
I know.
So my daughter, Leia, she just got the flute for band. And I actually played the saxophone. I made it a year. So I was like, after that, I'm like, no, I'm good. No, we'll do it. We'll do other things. That's fine. So
It's like, my husband did trumpet in, like, high school and did, I
mhm,
think, all 4 years.
very cool.
Or
Very
when he was
cool.
little too, but I was like, "Eh, eh." Was you had to like, we didn't have the program at my school, you had to go to the
Uh-huh.
middle school a town over, which meant
Mm.
waking up extra early, and I was like, "Yeah, not for me."
Right. I'm gonna bank all the sleep that I possibly can.
Plus, you could t there back in the day, there was really good cartoons on in the morning, and, like, I was missing Sailor
Yeah.
Moon, like
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that is one I tried. So I tried to get my girls into Sailor Moon and uh in Pokemon. I tried hard and I could not get them into Pokemon. I was like, I'll get you in Pokemon. We're gonna go get Pokemon cards. We're gonna have tournaments. It's gonna be awesome. And they're like, I just want to watch YouTube videos. I'm like,
Yeah, my nephew is
yeah.
definitely like a YouTube person, and he stayed with me for a couple weeks and introduced me to a whole other side of YouTube that you just don't see if you're not like 10 years old. I was like, "What
Yeah.
the hell is all this? Jesus Christ!" And
Yeah.
it's horrible.
I know my kids like, oh, here, let me show you how to do this. And I'm like, and I'm trying to get back into it more myself. I mean, I have my other stuff, but under the Fandemic, which you're my reboot per se. Now you brought up Lisa Simpson, and so Lisa Simpson is one of those I put in the category of Snow White, like awesome, but like nobody ever talks about them. Like Disney, like Snow White is like this weird. You can't get any of her merch. And I don't know why. And hopefully that changes with the new movie that I know they're working on or that's in
Mhm, mhm.
post production. But like when we went to Disneyland a few years ago, there's nothing. And my wife is a huge Snow White fan. And she's getting she's got about half a sleeve full of Snow White and the Seven
Oh,
Dwarfs,
wow.
and it's fantastic. And but like we all I wanted was get Snow White stuff. Even on Amazon, I can't find a ton of it. And
Hmm.
but Lisa Simpson's another one of those people that way too. I'm like Bart Simpson used to be the best part of Simpsons, but Lisa never really has been, and she's the best in the video game.
She didn't pop off. I think she just didn't have any of the sayings Bart did. Bart was definitely more marketable. I mean, he was like
Hmm.
Butterfinger BBs and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
eat my shorts. So, yeah, Lisa, she's a silent hero of the
Hmm.
Simpsons clan, other than Maggie, who's literally silent. But I mean, I had Lisa Simpson like shirts when I was little. There's a
Hmm.
picture of me in one. I don't remember it, but there's a photo, so I must have had it.
Mm.
And I know, like, H&M had a Simpsons line, and there was a little girl shirt that, is a crop top on me because I was like, "I'm getting this goddamn Lisa shirt."
Right, right, right.
If I could squeeze in it, I am. But, yeah, she doesn't get much, but I think she should. She's the best.
Awesome.
I mean, she's the middle child. I always if there's a middle child in a show, I'm probably gonna
Mm.
love the middle child, except for Bob's Burgers, which
Mm.
coincidentally Gene doesn't scream middle child to me as much as others have.
So you're a middle child?
Yes. I'm a
So
Lisa
am I.
between 2 Barts, I always say, because my brothers are
Mhm.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm a middle child too. I have an older sister and a younger brother. Yes, absolutely. And so I know exactly what you're talking about. So like Bob's Burgers, I've never really been able to get into it. And like I could turn it on and just like and it's fine. Like I'm gonna laugh and giggle and stuff like that. But I've never been like gotta watch it. Not like Rick and Morty and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't want to keep bringing it, but during the 2020 year, it was like hard to like just concentrate and keep up with
Mm-hmm.
your shows because time kind of stopped existing. So I definitely fell off. But I did watch the movie, very cute. So it's hopefully gonna get back to binging it because I did love it.
Good.
I love
So,
the mom. Linda is, oh my god, she's so amazing.
do you think it's better than Futurama?
Yes, only because Futurama has that horrible episode with the dog that is just like infamous. And I just can't. I can't with that. So, yes, in that regard.
What is one animated movie or one animated show or cartoon or anything like animated that you wish would come back today from the 90s?
Ooh. I would love to see. Ooh, that's a good question. Not Rugrats because they did that and they are terrifying. I would like to see Hey Arnold. I think Hey Arnold's one of those like timeless plots. It's
Yeah.
kids every day doing things. So I think Hey Arnold would be good coming back now.
Yeah, Nickelodeon was awesome there for a while, and then I don't know what happened, but like they're just not. They don't have the draw that I think they used to.
I think it was during like the mid aughts. Did they Nickelodeon probably saw Disney popping off with like High School
Mm,
Musical, Hannah Montana, doing big
yeah.
things with like teen stars, and tried to go that route. They had iCarly and Victorious, which are both
Hmm.
amazing,
Hmm.
but then both of them, these people get older. Ariana Grande is not going to be on your show forever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you have to get like the D-listers coming in when your A-listers go. So I think they dropped off, but I think SpongeBob's keeping them afloat over there.
Probably.
He's still
That's one of those
going.
things. I don't get it. Now there's a prequel SpongeBob, I guess. I don't
Coral.
know. I've never gotten SpongeBob just for the fact that the first time that I heard they're in Bikini Bottom
Yeah. I
and
mean,
then it's the Krusty Krab. You
the
know?
like The Simpsons, I think a lot of the best episodes of SpongeBob are in the earlier seasons. There's
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 that I think they still make me laugh to this day of SpongeBob for sure. But I haven't sadly kept up the like 20 some
Yeah.
years.
I mean, Patrick is obviously the best person in SpongeBob, in at least from to me.
Mhm.
All right.
Question.
So, hey Arnold, were
I'm in
you a
there.
friend? Were you? I know I saw that. Were you a fan of Friends?
I did watch Friends. It
Uh-huh.
was it was like the perfect show for syndication because it's one of the you don't really gotta follow, and it's like
Right.
so basic that you could just jump in like a soap opera.
Mhm.
You're like, I know the characters within like seconds. So I did watch it, but I was more a fan of Living Single, which came first, and there's a big beef with that. But I both are great.
Do you think something like Friends should come back?
We talked about that because I just did an episode with the Opinionated podcast, and one of their crushes was Rachel Green, Jennifer Aniston, and we were like, what if if it had never existed and they made it today, would that character be like probably an influencer? Because she's
Mm,
gonna, and we were like, yeah, they would. I think they could, but New Girl was so close to what
mhm,
Friends kind of was. I think it's a little too soon. Maybe a
mm,
year or two. Give it a year or two because now we have Abbott Elementary, which is basically The Office set in a school, and we just need that kind of separation of time so it can kind of have its own be like it's like that, but it has its own legs to stand on. Because I think if Abbott Elementary came out in like 2011, wouldn't have been as like ooh
So I have not watched Abbott Elementary yet.
so good.
It's on my queue, but like there is just so much stuff out there right now. And then I happened to like just about a week ago, I ran into the show Reboot on
I
Hulu.
need to check that out.
Holy cow! So,
Is it good?
yes, I absolutely loved it. Like I've watched like 3 or 4 episodes now,
Oh,
and
shit.
it's got Johnny Knoxville. I mean, right there, you're good to go.
Yeah, he's
And
gorgeous.
then, and dude, like he could pull off the silver hair. I mean, like
He
my beard is pretty silver, is pretty gray, pretty silver. My hair is
Silver
like
Fox. He's like they were on like Family Feud, the Jackass crew. So I mean,
what?
them with Steve Harvey. I know. I saw a clip on Twitter, and I texted it to my friend who's like a big Jackass fan, and I was like, I must watch this in full because Steve Harvey reacting to the world is my favorite thing.
Correct, correct.
So, like, yeah, it's really. He's all like, oh no, oh no.
I mean, whoever thought that would ever happen? We put Jackass on Family Feud. I mean,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it
that's
was a good
TV gold. That is really TV gold for
I
sure.
and isn't Keegan Michael Key on reboot? So, yeah, so I
Yes.
will be watching because I'm a big fan.
Now, and then do you remember the old show? Because I know we talked about Victoria's, which why she isn't huge, I don't know, but
Because even on the show, I knew Ariana was the better singer.
oh,
I knew it right when they gave Kat a solo. I was like, I was told my roommate, I was like, she's gonna leave the
she's gonna be
show
the
and be
one.
big. And Beck, because Beck was just gorgeous, but he didn't pop off yet. He did not yet. We're still waiting.
Um, however, Dez from Austin and Alley is in reboot.
Oh, okay. Wait, I didn't watch
He's
that.
the dorky like manager guy, red hair, whatever. And then do you did you ever watch like Descendants or anything like that?
No, my cousin is really
Mm.
into that, and I've like seen
Mm.
like Dove Cameron's in it, right?
Yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
concept. I love
Oh
the
yeah.
concept of it, but no, I never watched it.
Yeah, one of the guys who's like Hook or whatever, my kids love it. I've never I zone out when it's on. He was the main character in the new movie The Invitation.
Okay.
And he was freaking fantastic. I mean, like, I hope this dude goes huge. I mean, like, that guy, man, like, I looked him up on IMDb and I'm like, what? He's from Descendants? And I'm like, oh,
Right, kind of like
okay.
those shows.
Right. I'm like snubbing. I'm like, no, he is way too good for Nickelodeon.
That's like when people are like, "Oh, Ariana Grande trying to act." I'm like, "That's where she started, guys." Hello.
Well, and I would like to see her act more. But I mean, like she could do whatever she wants. I mean, she has that ability. Like, oh, I want to sing. I'm gonna sing, and I'm gonna make millions of dollars. Phone act. I want to sing right now.
Queens.
So, yeah. I did not finish that. My kid absolutely loved it, and so like my daughter and I we were pretty alike, and I mean so we were very very similar in taste, and she will watch things and then spoil them,
Oh.
not on purpose, but kind of on purpose, you know. And so
Up, you know.
right, exactly, like, Dad, you had a day to watch this, so
I'm like, I gotta watch it now.
right, and I can't say she doesn't get that, honestly. I can't say that I have probably done the same or more to her, been like, you know, you had a day. You had 24 hours.
It's been out for 20 minutes. Why haven't you watched it?
Exactly. Oh, awesome. So because it is scary season,
Spooky season.
which is the greatest time of the year.
This is where the great food starts. You got Halloween candy, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. And then you take a break, and then Valentine's candy, then Easter candy. This is like 6 months of glory for fat kids, and I'm living.
Correct. So at the theater, I haven't got approval to do it yet, but for Halloween ends, I want to get life-size cutouts of Michael Myers, and then after everybody goes into the theater, I want to put them right outside the door. So that's the first thing everybody sees, and then I want to get reactions, and I want to have candy right there to give them for trick or treat. They haven't said yes to that yet. So, however, I am going to be doing a live action game of Clue in our theater. Hopefully by the end of the month. I'm going to do a test run for the employees, but I'm so stoked for that. But yeah, the Michael Myers thing, I think it'd be awesome to scare the crap out of people. It would be so much fun. If you could take any animated Disney movie, all right, and turn it into a horror setting, what would it be?
Okay. Can I pick Pixar too, or just Disney?
Disney, Pixar, yeah, anything.
It's Toy Story because I want a dog toy version. I want it to be-
Oh my gosh,
I thought about this already. Like
that
I come up with things all the time. I have
I'm
no
the same way.
life.
I am the same. I am the same. Like on my other podcast, Prevention of the Nerds, we did quick pitches this last week where I had my buddy. We were just doing we were pitching movies out of songs from like the 80s and 90s. But yeah, that dog Toy Story sounds freaking amazing.
I had a picture of it on my phone because my dog has like so many toys. That Gumby's he's don't got an arm anymore, and I placed it over the toy box ever so slightly and did a creepy like filter, and it looked. Pixar should pick it up.
So, Gumby, do you think Gumby could come back?
No, he's too basic. Too basic. These kids wouldn't know what to do with Gumby. I'm surprised, like stop motion and all that, it has been like, as big as it has. With I think Nightmare Before Christmas definitely keeps it going and alive for a lot of kids, but I don't think Gumby has it in him.
Yeah.
To bring, sorry, Gum.
Yeah. Could they upgrade him to like
no.
like YouTube or something?
I feel like maybe like wasn't it like Charlie the Unicorn? Kind of one of the first big viral things, kind of took it. So unless he could go that route, become an influencer, I don't see it for Gumby. I think he's got to stay in the past with like, what is that H&R Puff and stuff, which is acid trip. So something's got to stay.
Yeah, I am definitely with you there. Now, what is so I know we talked a bunch about Disney, but are there any Disney movies that you can't stand? Any animated? Frozen?
I think Frozen is the most overrated Disney movie. The plot has every Disney movie has plots. I mean, Ariel could have just wrote her name. We know.
Yeah.
But Frozen, the rock trolls, I had a whole different movie in mind for Frozen when I turned it on, and then was sadly like, this was it. This is what you came up with. Wow. She was like, I hate the movie. I hate the song. It's just not good. And they really pimp that snowman, and he's in like 5 seconds of the movie total.
So they're like, they should pretty much just let it go.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do agree. The best part of the movie was the snow monster, and wait, all this stuff is going around, and you can create snow monsters, and you're not gonna keep doing that?
It's a waste.
Right.
That one can go. Other than that, I think they're all pretty. I don't like princess movies before Little Mermaid. Sorry to your wife, no offense.
It's fine.
But those ones are kind of like they all kind of look the same to me. They're just fairy tale ones. I feel like definitely the Disney Renaissance, thank God my mom and dad met and had me when they did. I got to grow up with that era.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, mom and dad. So that's like, you cannot beat the Disney Renaissance of Disney films. No way.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. They definitely went into sort of storytelling mode, for the rest, as you say. Now, and I'm okay with looking over plot holes as long as the story is good.
Yeah,
like
Frozen's not.
Tell a good story, and I don't care. Like you want to, whatever you want to throw in there. Just make sure the story's good. If you have a solid story, I'm in. I'm that way with comic books. I'm a huge comic book collector. So and right now there's a lot of bad stories, and like DC, I love you, DC Comics. You are my favorite, but dude, like,
I mean, if they're not doing the comics good, they're not doing the movies good. What are they doing good?
Correct. And they have better they have better characters than Marvel.
I love their villains. I'm not a fan of their heroes.
So like to me, so like my favorite heroes are Nightwing
Okay.
and Green Lantern and Green Arrow. So Nightwing, Green Arrow, and Green Lantern. Those are my guys. I like Green Arrow because he's Batman without being Batman, and he stays on the street level. He's like your street superhero guy, right? Like
Mhm.
he doesn't care about supervillains. He just wants to do
Save people.
right. Exactly. I like Green Lantern because they can pretty much have a ring that has powers.
He's very Captain Planet.
Exactly, which that should come back, especially right now as well. And then Nightwing, I like Nightwing because he grew up. Like Nightwing, Dick Grayson started off as the ward to Bruce Wayne, which is weird all on its own. However, but like he went around and became his own thing. He's like, no, I am not going to be Robin forever. I'm not going to stick around Gotham. I'm going to go do my own thing, and I'm better than you. And so that's why I like Nightwing. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I watched the Arrow show for a while until it got a little too wild, where they were like,
Yeah.
"Let's bring everybody back from the dead." And it's just like, okay,
I
we're gonna
know.
step away, but it was good for a time. I was like, real. I
Mhm.
was surprised I loved it so much, but
Mhm.
but they were doing TV well for a long time.
They were, but like they just keep them going too long. I mean, like Flash, like I love Flash, but like man, like you guys should have stopped like 3 or 4 seasons ago. Stargirl is really good. Superman and Lois is good. I just like guys just realize when you are done. When you're done with your overall
I
story.
think it's just the CW's just trying to milk all the. I mean,
Yeah.
Riverdale. Wow.
I have never watched an episode of that.
Oh, it's I got up into when the guy from Chad Michael Murray from One Tree Hill came and was a cult leader harvesting organs for his like dying wife or something like that in a cult. It was wild. And they were playing like this D&D game, but it wasn't called D&D and
Uh-huh.
it just it just got wild. It was not
I
even cute Jughead could keep me watching.
Well, that's why I liked Legends of Tomorrow because like they knew exactly what they were, and they were just campy, like were ridiculousness. And there is something really good to be said about campy ridiculousness that is just refreshing in a world where everything is so serious. You're like, I don't want to be
Mhm.
serious right now. I'm like, take me out of everything around. Like, I just like entertain me.
I mean, that's what I love about the 90s is like a movie like
Mhm.
Kindergarten Cop could be one of the top 10 movies of the year when it was released, but today it's like you could that wouldn't even like probably go
Right.
past Hulu and you wouldn't even see it if it was on there. They did make a Kindergarten Cop 2 on Netflix
With
and
Dolph
nobody watched
Lundgren.
it. Yeah, and nobody watched it. I
I
tried.
I did, but like you, I did not make it all the way through.
Like
But
5
when I saw
minutes.
Kindergarten Cop 2, I mean, I was excited. I'm like, "What? Kindergarten Cop
Good.
2?"
Or like the movies like Three Ninjas, like these kids sports
Right.
movies. I mean they have the Mighty Ducks series, which is phenomenal. I still have
Mhm,
to check out the new season that
mhm.
Coach Bombay is no longer in anymore. But
Yeah.
we're bringing in Josh Duhamel. He's hot, so we'll deal with it. But yeah, I miss those like kids movies. I miss the fun of movies, the
Mhm.
silliness. That's why I love that Diary of the Wimpy Kid so much. I felt like this is very 90s and kids like. I feel like kids don't have enough to call their own now.
I
Except
agree with
YouTube.
you. I agree, and all you have to do is look a couple decades back.
Yeah. You're just like, "Ugh." But yeah. So I love that. I love that. Like I love stupid, silly movies like that.
I am with you 100%. So, I think it is time to just at an hour, so we have talked very much about the 90s and how amazing it was. We dove deep. We went on a couple of sidetracks. Would you like to close out anything on our talk about how awesome the 90s were?
The 90s were just the best of times. We didn't have instant connection to everyone. You had to call people to connect with them. You had to actually care about what they were thinking. They just couldn't tweet it. You see it, ignore it. It was just a better time. I mean, the world was better. There
It
was like
definitely was.
I mean, maybe it's because I didn't pay rent or have bills. Those are the rose-colored glasses of the 90s, is I had no responsibilities, but still, I think life was better.
Kendra, where can we reach you? Where can we get your podcast at?
If you just go to crushgasmpodcast.com, everything's there. It's the episodes, and every week with every episode, I do 2 blogs pertaining to that episode. You'll get my crush that associates with that week's episode, and you'll get a nice top 10 because who doesn't like a list?
I love doing lists. That's what
Oh.
we do half the time on our pre-event show, and it's like
Mhm.
it's awesome. All right. Well, you can tweet at me at Fandemic3, message me on Facebook at the Fandemic. I'm also active on TikTok at Fandemic1. I do some reviews. I try to be silly. I don't like to take too much too seriously. If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/the Fandemic. Become a monthly supporter on Anchor, anchor.fm/PVOTN. You can just go to PayPal or Venmo at Bradley B10, or just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Make sure you follow me on YouTube and Facebook. Now, in every episode, I like to end in a positive note. And Kendra, it was very, very nice to get to know you. I'm going to continue to listen to your podcast because it is awesome.
Well, thank you for having me and letting me talk about the 90s. I could do it all day. I literally can.
You know what? I'm pretty sure there will definitely be a part 2 because this was a ton of fun. So, do you have any lasting words of wisdom?
Keep crushing it. That's how I always end my.
Very good. We're all playing the same game in life, just on a different level. Thanks for catching up. You're welcome for leveling up your awesome. Also, my children's book, Leveling Up My Awesome, is currently on sale on Amazon for $7.99. Live free or die empty. Have a great day.